Today we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and I want to start us in verse 3. Let's read this together. But with me it is a very small thing that I should be judged by you or by any human court. In fact, I do not even judge myself, for I am not aware of anything against myself, but I am not thereby acquitted. It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore, do not pronounce judgment before the time, before the Lord comes, who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness and will disclose the purposes of the heart. Then each one will receive his commendation from God. We've all been on the receiving end of judgment at some point in our lives. At some point in our lives, we have received judgment from others. And especially with the way things are going in our country right now, there's a lot of judgment going around. Some of it is warranted, and some of it is definitely not warranted. And I think what Paul wants us to really realize in this chapter is that it's always best to be slow to judgment. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times when we must judge sinful behavior. And even a chapter later, in chapter 5 of 1 Corinthians, Paul will be explicit about judging sinful behavior and bringing others to repentance. And that's a duty as a Christian. We have that duty. But in this chapter, he wants us to focus in on how to be slow to judgment and let Jesus be the ultimate judge of our behavior. Now, he's talking about how we judge people simply by appearance. And it might not be how they look. Sometimes it might be how they look, but it's also judgment on appearance, specifically how someone behaves. We can judge people simply by the way that they behave or the way that they come off. That's unfair. It's ungodly and it's not full of grace. And Paul wants us to be filled with grace and let Jesus be the ultimate judge. So today, as you go about your day, as you see things on the news or on social media, remember that God is the ultimate judge. Jesus will come to judge the living and the dead, and it is not your job to judge other people. Be filled with grace. Be filled with patience and love for your neighbor. Just like Randy said in his newsletter this week, love your neighbor and owe them nothing. I love you, church. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.